Half a day, buenas dan saludo para todo los santos de Mani, como winigi programan Marianas Agupa. Ang sábado talos Stephanie Luz ganini oran alas 9 ganas de oran alas 11. Undang kululu na kulo para todo los santos. One Mani como winigi 100.3 na iritutumbugi usenit na kapasidad elektrisidad geri. Domadud gana papa tinian zanduta, zandupi para ato siya maniluta buena gi islan Guam special na kulo para todos los lokwi taw-taw tani manggay gi interit mundo in Honolulu, California, Oregon, Washington, Texas, Idaho, Florida, dan ato siya manggay buena gi South Carolina, Washington DC, Virginia. Saludo, special na kulo para todo do samdo ni Mani kungo. Mala, datapan sige mo na gwinit sumukan iprogramata. Enero 29, 2022, después di mapanyagon Jesucristo. Sa hafa, sa giningwiza, zangwiza, giza-gwiza, mga malefa na isay na, tanad sa hululo, ginilalata. Tandokwe, mala data sustenit, trungkun at magoso pago na Sabado. Jesus mo sa italo para todo samzo de manhihitan Sabado mini ungan. Yan daw esta tres brasa kinaulo niya. Sinya para ting-ting pago na Sabado lo sininbatgo mala data sepya talang nos i-klema para pago na Sabado. O pinini na mala data pansigi mo na bini data no ay saludo para todo los estesya siguiente. Na humuhugwi i-programan Marianas Agupa Sabado. Isiya man malipay na anonymous donor si Zeus Maasi. Lokwi na adzudo binigit programata. Gidin este na putsa ni Nanay Ganas lokwi iprogramata ang Sabado. I-Diabetes Prevention Foundation, saludo para todos lokwi kwitpo. I-Tauber Foundation, saludo. I-Dylan.com. Dito siyempre santatin este programata Soundbet. Na hindi na positively as Dylan.Tauber.com si Pia talang nus gwini. Mamala, datapan sige mo na gwini sumukan iprogramata. Stay niyamzo, data lang nus este Soundbet, finini na. Manada na este tapanano loki 4 para ilota. Time check para pago na Sabado. Siya man maliflight na Bravo Pharmacy and Wellness Center. 3 está na no ramas está garapan mga malefa na pon refill amon mo garapan o sino kagman sa lokwi kay dandan across the Joten revenue Joten markets dan tax and revenue kay Bravo Pharmacy and Wellness Center. All right, pues mala data na huzon este magay
ikubit siyang tinamon sa Bravo Pharmacy and Central Mauvic na hinim. Pronto and listo na servisyon amo para hinimlo. Agan watu 233 amo 233-2668. Email is over prescription bravomeds@gmail.com. Mabababagin in Lunes esta Viernes. Ginini oran alas 9 gigan. Esta oran alas 6 in point. Sabado. Ginini oran alas 9 gigan. Esta oran alas 1 kinanuan italo. Agan watu 233-2668.
All right, Bravo Pharmacy and Wellness Center. Garapan kagmansan inuibo na ramas kay gidandan. La datapan sige mo na gini. Mala datanoy lokyon dong kululu na agradecimiento i kumakatsu mo na programata. Kinini na i garapan public farmers market, mga malefa, na mga iglesia iman fresco siya na kiniset sa nilanso, ginin lansiruta, ginin masahalum niya siya, muna gwagway siya na gulay, dan tapko siya na kiniset sa gilanso, bula siya gwinapa, biringenas, cucumber, lemon, aga zangwa siya gwineti root crops, no kamuti manggayigwi siya dan suni waha siya man magulik siya sexy Paula sino si Leroy dan wa siya loki fina mamis ne man mapapata para turudusit an matugi wato mga malefa no para adu na tauto igwa interes niya loki man mamahan pan hanong wato din tasuporta ilang siruta pues mala datapan sige mo na gwenaw Ace air conditioning ya turida pud asuntun air conditioning ikaritamo mga malefa gasaimi kaya kita tinitaro su tani wa problema ni karitamo is on the air conditioning sexy aimi sa guiza ya turida ongizo na maulik zan pronto isibisyo Ace air conditioning. All right, pago nang imbumiya ha papaluta mga malefa natin saga di Coro Garden Rota Hotel kaya gihagi kantong tasi. Langin sumagaw with malinaw ay tasi na poingi. Un ilaw guato islan Guaham. Uliya siyempre Anderson Air Force Base. Alright? Sige, Coro Garden. Tsaka si Kindo o sinosiri. Nga malefa na. Alright, sige. No i-klema pa ako, mala data lagnusiste sa Guadalupe i-klema.
Today's weather is brought to you by Joten Markets and Department Store. Shop local, shop Joten. I-klema pa ako na ani, ninakatukusi hamsukin ni Midtown Joten sa i-Department Embassy. Shop local, shop Joten.
Alright, pues mga malefan no? Okay, i-klema para pa muna sa balu. Mga malefan isti sa hunggan magay. Sunny, partly cloudy. Pa muna hani. Lolias na humudzong i-addaw esta. Temperature high at 84 degrees. Wind breezy, east, northeast at 14 miles per hour. Sunset tonight, para lamo na, para hutsong mata niya daw, 6:14 p.m. Alright? Di na patuto dyan so talo, ginin quit pun
Today's weather is brought to you by Joten Markets and Department Store. Shop local, shop Joten. I-klema.
Alright, po sinige. Di na patutugan dyan ay Joten Markets and Department Stores. Wala zata fan sige mo nagwinit. Subukan iprogramata sa gwasya gwinilopi asunto para ta zoti huzong pinina gwasya kulo. Wala ta na huzong siya kulo. Pago na sabalo. So testi na talang siya para si Tero Mendiola. Tero, happy birthday, Kulo. Laging umiikong ka. Pat Rosa. Patricia Rosa, happy birthday, Kulo. Loki Parahago. Para si Aning Sablan, si Lilibra bina 84 anyos. Ay, siluta si Aning isay na uninay mas minigod mo. Laging umiikong ka. Pago na Sabalo, bendisyon Parahago. Continua mo na. Sa umbrabrabuha. Iniginaw na Gilisea. Para si Ana Sablan. Senator po Magnoni, happy birthday Kulo para Hogulo Kwe. Jack Villa Gomez, happy birthday Kulo. Robert Mindiola Lokwe. Si Richard Macaranas, special na birthday Kulo. Richie, naginumi kong kao. Para Lokwe si Pedro Americano. Si Pedro Americano. Bueno, Papa Luta, special na Kulo para Hogulo Pig. Dear meat for dinner, bueno papaluta biday autoridad, Pedro Americano, Rose Peredo, special na birthday kulo tsay, parahagulo ki Ross Manglonia, happy birthday kulo, Tina time yaw. Happy birthday kulo Tina, zang inumi ko Andrew Atalit, gulo kwe. Dan para todos ato siya manggaygi siya muna ang lumaw lo kwe Marianas Agupa Facebook katalang nusa kwini. O sino text gi 670-287-4536. Lagi na mas tsadik siya tali, no? O na ba na mamakat Jamie Batunis gi i tarananas watu na atanita, alright? Lo sinimbaut ko bay tagi at sumek. Special lokwi na kulo para itiluta si Joe Jones bueno papa kagman. Para ko Joe, ginumi ko Joe Jones bueno kagman. Unay lokwi na sign na mas maulit na hinimlo para muna. Sisto, time man niya bueno papa luta si Six, si Du. Alright. No, good morning Ann, mga malefa. Ang gingwagwe na no binatimo ito na bolotsu poto. No, mungkin masih agak no undusena tatsagi. Do, alright. Perlu juga pihak posi ifrate. Alright, posi jurus mosi. Si do 6-2 time man yung ya turidat. Bueno, lopi papa good morning and malak nagtapan sige mo nagbilisa esta sige Liros winiha kantiya gwe esta kana 10 pasaw las 11 gamayla natapan sige mo na sa kwasya sunto ginya kanianos na parata lang no sujong na man masuseli gwe na Simona finini na wa report humunsong report este ginin secretarian i Department of Finance na 64 milyon pesos magasta gi salapi publiko na tumaygwi gi budget o sa gi deficit magasta maski nina halumta 64 milyon pesos tausa na salapi za tumaygwi gi budget tinahong kinalanting na ekonomiya law kinatsueno law enigi na DBS taatan wah kumatsueno Medyo siya na salapi ginin federalis ha juday na kinatsumuna no siya na DB tagastapur si CDC ya. Sige siya na sinisidi COVID-19 ini na report yan na uso. Buda siya gastun gobernamento na man ma gasta na para tana guaha siya para ta prominisi man ang tautag binigi tempo nesti siya i-chenut na sige mo na salapon di COVID-19. Ini no? Zangwaha siya lopi gasto za digi siya question bula manggogong bula siya gastun publiko o sino gastun i gobernamento na maski di pursihi za humuhuzong siya tat kumado siya po pan na panggasgas siya fasilidad gua siya kontrata man manoy siya kumpanya na gua question pud experience dan kantida nos pud kantida weni law finatinas ay na finatinas maski 20,000 pesos magagasta gi para ma-spray Clorox yalum opisina siya ini siya man huhuzong ihalum sengsong madiskukuti no siya na asunto na gua kumpanya man manoy no siya na no sole source contract za kaumat tu tsinya bueno tsinya itagweno na kantidan sa lapi no esta gua siya man no restrictia siya contract siya na man manoy siya sole source za kau kumbeni gi tagwinis na kantidan ira ita susesini dididi na kinalamting ekonomiya zata na ako na maski nagi na sa lapi siya esta man daigi gwina eskalera deficit tagasta maski hindi na halulunta kasi nigeno nga panedos uno na asunto za importante na tasigi muna za umexplika sa magugusong siya na report wa siya komite esta man papaisin man manoy kontrata po din sige no siya man maimbestiga siyempre manawat no public auditor o sino attorney general sa gingwaha no no tikumbeni ma so wenya siyempre gwaha no magramadero no o siyempre nagi talili man mamamayla na tempo no hafa siya na klasen kumbalatsi siya hafa na un kumpanya mananay zaman kukumi zan i-gobernamento, hafeno na tumay bueno. Hindi siya na asunto paneros. Zati trata ipumalo siya na kumpanya. Hafa na source. Kasi hindi siya na importante talang no suzo. Lokwe, zaw na talang huzong esti, nagwaha esta humuzong gini opisina ni Presidente, CDC, nagwaha esti linya free esti siya man odahaw. No neji COVID-19 test para home test esti. Pues naging guaha is mo access internet www.covidtest.gov. Naging guasi niya majudaw malago manodan este home test no inigi no is only no website na siya manodaw na manafakto gimeo the hawwa un kondukta is mo test. Alright, so naging un tesaw no za positive no por favor depil organ CHCC sa tana isa sige mo na at salapon wi no ista luta pa ng ginigap na haani no 17 esta man dinasi estaba 1 2 esta pa ako 17 titatungo ko sige esta at salapon wi esta luta sa timatungo no nasin ungan tumakilo linya vaccination no test para este siya law mas gina fan sasafuhit zangin man mabakunay po siya ni gano na pwede uwa mas gano no libianos no zanlokwe no fan software man tawag gano kita tungo tinian ka uwa lokwe ta gano na kantida ipo fan masusidik gano kamala data kutehit gano i-otro gini na importante na para lang nos pago na Sabado man masusesidi ginin edzi mas ki 3 semanas na ma-transferya dokumento 22-14 with na impeachment resolution gini sa Papa Naguma desta gumaygi ki pison sanhilo Naguma za para managwa kunta lao ti Vicente floor leaders agay giluta zan si no Senator Victor Hokuk sa masinyala para esti Mikulis na hani o Hoybis law mananangga sa timan motto ibat kunayri sa man maudain ibat iboti aso ano para makondukta i business publiko sa para maudain boti watu para legislatura li para ano Hafanati una fona i business i publiko zon mauday gibat kunayri zon latsadik watu sa i business publiko za hululo nagi naman maililis ti siya lohi sa para tafan mauday boti za tafan peska watu puspetsunade no na hinano ohi ti una 3 kilo i interesi publiko sa esta masinyala na parwa junta lo makansela no sa kana niya yun hasta 8 semana di Febrero dia 3 panane non atso si president sa isinya man ma-food maesti lo anyway hindi gino masusedi no da debi taatan esti siya na debi i 17 publiko sa kingwaha no masinyala junta ufan matto sa ufan present sa hindi naman mailili siya pitsunat tipitsunat esti business publiko debi yung kondukta haw sa mailihaw debi yung hano zon meeting sa nigi nagumay haw we pues i business publiko mga malibgi na santati debi na zamona na no importante sa malili na ito to matungo no na debi mohon un mauday boti amin un mauday bat kun airi pa na mauday boti o magi atrasaw todo ini zahululo no talo bini pues no humunsong na mapunta ihap pa makondukta para esti pamanagwaha komite pero inatan no esta munhazan na impeach si Governor Torres. Hasoy na ma-impeach esta. No ikumpiyansa nanguko tumay ko esta gima isang papa naguma na representa i publiko. Ma-impeach po kumahulo no. Datangin matto na gisan hilo zaman junta za managwa trial pues no siya ma-convict kung may kalingyan na manahuzong gisizame o sino ma-quit, ma-dispensa. O si tatungo pa po masusedi ko na. Law, guwaha tinigay niya si President Hapsinider. Hatugi katta guwato i Chief Justice Alexandro no si Alex Chief Justice Alex no pusinige no sa mamamaysin na parawiza o kalan para o gaigi gisan mena za para o kondukta i trial Alexandro Castro zota Chief Justice no manggi tati zota Chief Justice niya tisinya no sa taigwe no i constitution mga manafan saunaw i judicio bueno sa taigwe no tima na holo meno gizota constitution. Hamzo no parensinegui i legislatura gay fuerza nene para impeach i si Senate gay geno na fuerza i para convict. Ahi ti judicio tayo no i constitution na para hami para ben no husgay no. Ahi ti so mamene para ben husgay no da afirma si Chief Justice Castro, si Associate Justice John Magnolia, si Associate Justice Perry Inos, the mansea gweno the PTA ni sa tayo magahit the Constitution. Pus mga man akan sauno ham gweno tetsu midweno. Pus ini gweno na separasyon di fuerza, tres ramas, uno y legislatura y executivo sa ni justicia. Jadi masusesi di gweno na kwetpo i hak gweno man masusesi di asunto impeachment resolution. Alright, pues necesaryo po makumbikta yung gobyerno debi no sais na senador ya luminoy pero binota conviction o sino para acquittal. Okay? Pues ini na asunto gumaygi i otro winilay lumalaylay na siya mo nagmini in aligaw kay mano office siya na sisidi man masusesidi gi Commonwealth Ports Authority. Alright? Nagwaha report ginin i Deloitte and Touche na hanggang nagwaha siya umaanog na tiumafaksa siya i recording i gastos and i hafa man ma-report. Wa siya man mafafahan siya na ikidipursi paronfahan. Us iniginaw siya na asunto man humuhuzong siya ginin i Commonwealth Ports Authority na tiumafaksa siya inaw na report i asuntong gasto i salapi federalis ni manapan sisipi wa siya man mafafan siya kosas sa tidebi siya no kan mafahan wa siya man ma-investiga siya finahan halatsa sa lotaywi inventaryo kuy man manggis siya na kosas i man mafahan man manggin siya na air conditioning naman tayo yung fasilidad. Hasi ni responsable ini ginaw na report i humuzong. Di adlibes niya humuzong i chairperson i CPA talaga nang gas ahi. Dinadan siya mo na za paraw na agwaha hunta. Paraw na agwaha hunta gi mamamayla na si Mona na para ini kung publiko siya pag-explika siya. Titay bueno matsuwena. Tatizi hafay report i audit zon alegra sa probinsya man ansyano na accountant itsumotsuwida zangin taigwi dokumento taigwi kosas na diposiyo gayi inventaryo pos waha na sisidi waha man masusesidi guaha siya tsakan halungguma yalong yeno. Aliga wena nigi siya titsu mitsu. Ahi ti paron huzong sa paron defendi haw di publiko na ahi tagwin. Tatatino hasta ki un alegra todo zon soda haji responsable un investiga i halong inventaryo mo. Izigi pago non na gua public hearing na kanilos may la. Sa istigi siya man masusedi. Umuzong tagwin na report ini public auditor o sino i Deloitte & Touche na ma-audit i CPA igasto siya ginin i-federal siya na salapi za masoda na taigwes siya na makineriya taigwin siya budosa taigwes siya na disservice taigwin siya na bus cutter taigwin censo taigwes siya law anay maimbestiga estigi naman masoda pus inigi ipaw na nagwa public hearing. Ini ano matsugwe niya, ini siya na rekomendasyon maghuhuzong, pareho ginin taw-tawta siya, na kung ano, pues importante na maatan tagwe, no? Sa lokwi gwa gini world news, daw na tanahuzong este, na gwa siya no didi ginawdzaw ni halong itano, interit mundo, uno gwa siya laindup at kikitsugi si President Putin desta sige muna no mapipara si Amerikano na kumikihalom sa kikihat ni tano no Ukraine ibisino niya para halom gihalom lindero aso este kumiki esta tsugi si Crimea uno na state is Russia okay gina hahan ni ibisino niya umalong gihalom lindero aso este umalong gihalom lindero za hatsulewan todo na kusas niya usa kikitso gwi talo este si Putin ya ini na sige mo na mapipara siya i militar zawatan huzong este ka manggagay kya i patku bini sa safety stin tilacio binya gihizong i lagun ano ka ginen este nagayyo za imedida gwini gigon only esti usung na barko siya za manaygoy usinya agwa problema gi sa North Korea lo kwe usani geno siya na asunto na humamanetora gwini the debit taw ta kada malofan og gwini gi beach road aatan kau manggagaya esti siya na batkun bapot esti siya manggagay gwini usung kumu uno patawta estapos gefare sa lan sinya agwa no masusesi gi sa North Korea natatunga esta laidot niya si Kim Jong-un na inigi inaw sa sangin ha bakudang islan goham pwede tiutso bueno God forbid no yufattu bueno sinya i pairi no laidot niya sa magtuha mao kenaw na putbus naging mabomba si bisinuta sa inigi siya na no stutod ba tranquilidad hinanaw ta muna safety ni region alright o sinigyan no afanielos sa mala sa tapan sige mo na ginit subukan ang isa dita tanaw Palestina sunido da después tapanono papa gi Island Guam si Peter tamanazan tapanono papa tidian Senator Singh tatagit sumuli si Guelo team na papa Luta yan si Ambrose gi ora na las 10 pago gua kumbiteta lo tibelo siya na zenos taki umalum wala datapan si mo na gini all right Okay, all right. Para si June Sablon, Rick Paris, si Zeus Masi, Guinaw, Maneko, Ginipago, all right. Ang gaza pelia ko ko no message para kulo. Okay, pustaza tribute to lili. No, anyway, mala data sige mo lang gini. Okay. Pues Sustenian Japanelos sa Bay Kihanog Watu gi Islan Guaham. Si Peter. Buenas nagasistigate si Luta. Peter Santos Ganogi Islan Guaham. Buenas kung sige mo na.
Buenas, señor Glenn, dan todos yan ni Manikogo. Serena Dabi, saluda dan alog hafade pa iatmota si señor Rick. Taiman now ni gagi gini mogi kita guam. Ufak tai gini gap da. Lagi hey, ko hagu no. Kung may kwento di radio, nag-uunggan. Lekwa na ako.
Alright, at umay boss
Anyway, unang-tunga, no? Si
Yes,
Senyor Rick. Tayo man daw si retirado na policeman.
Unggan.
Okay. Unang kay Glenn?
Unggan no tiyo si Rick tayo man yun. Unggan
okay.
Alright, pues malik sa masudan.
Pues, Dankulu na buenas dan saluda para Giza. Anyways, no mapasa giniga bill gini na Senator Moylan pamatulay ka hapay mano gini magi masagwan niya eleksyon. Tido na idea do ni election commission no sa pudi podong na ipapa asunto ni eleksyon gi penandon niya no area responsibility na Giza no umuntroduce bill. No matulay ka didi after mano matagwan niya election gini magi pero mana lot of stuff kandidato siya po mana alum ni dunya petition. Then after no pero mana lot of stuff loko primary then pero na suwa primary dan yung si Mrs. Arius Aguana di ay na kinsi na tatsong no dosya na kandidato pues para fay primary dan yung no may ganyas idra kini kandidato no
Yan magayat na.
Dagi lokui mayor, one day na unwa na Republican, unwa na Democrat. The para primary, lastima siyempre salakti ni techo como matawid primary da matuwa na siyempre o ang bangsa mo na para general, no?
Yan na magayat ilan siya, no?
Yeah. No, na bill, no. Gini laksa, gini na Moylan ni, you know, kalan Maulik, no, gini Giza, gini ni election commission, Giza ay, Filipino English, rubber stamp, right? Yeah, pues, otro no bill, niya introduce, ni para namutta, hardi na, empleado gobyerno como maninfuerzas tax ni tima preba gini ni publiko sa aguahan na ay lay ni hagagas pati na 1998 mapasa na tidedi gobernamento ofan hapsa tax angin ti abato no matsobi na the referendum. No, the Filipino English catch-22 or sinya lektiji or lektiji na reglamento. Pues, I introduce ito na bill. Guana reporter lang niya, hey, local TST, latsahan na hagut no umunfitsas dos na hinatsan tax kalan pinakiluan na na lakulay kilizano manintroduce no live at yatumo na mismo Giza no siya tatiti. Pwede
Okay.
naging na, no. Sususanan po si Moylan na kalangada dan tikabali sinasusun niya. Right? Pues pero okay na dan si Marcos Nicolas no man-announce STG segundo na punto na organ man-announce giniga no niga po nigab na katsogoy research na sinya itaw-tawag mamatinas no constitution na pada impedimento di Kongreso. Toby research the lagos todo doon findings. So tumo apa klan?
Aha.
Aga sa tatuwa to. Paisa na estudyante high school da si omili estudyante high school atuma po din na. No, you know, kalan anunsya na akin si Mebo na informasyon ni sobda.
Paubuhasan aga sa no sinya no.
No, aga sa esta mas 40 años no mapeba i constitution i Kongreso no anay madagal pati pa itatawag and again may gadon sa timapeba. Pues gagaya i sinyat. Lo si Marcos Nicolas pa nilibus din na informasyon. Talo na anok na kalangada dan tikabalis na hinaso. Pues, you know, Paraguay, ano ata na doon, haso doon. You know, estima taw-taw para adadahi interesta. Mitiya tumo sa buwag mahas. Pues, sige na Paraguay, haga sa, you know, ti Maulikis din na representante, you know, go-pop. Ni Margie kita guam sa mauhunggi apa siya sa sangan. Polo sa SPG malagota pues SPG ta sumun.
Ano no
Bisita ta sumun.
planini ha malogo talo si delegate.
Kwa tiya sa sangan lo esta hafayo ang aga sa hafayo no papet niya. Ni pero togwi no fundraising para i oficina ng delegado. Pues según eso, todo eso la pisa ni está chuli, está pago no, ni chuli está pago ni cita para usa y es de una salapi para y donar campaign para delegado, dan que no te like kita para follow para magalahi, pues necesita nanalo pero naservi todo yun na sa lapi na pero tutun di nuevo man-record sa lapi i magalahi i edyo na karera.
Alright, pues lo akano kalangwasya no man atungo ulo ke no majujutin on mo huzon no atan pa no sa gwalo ke interes itaw to na sinya si Peter Santos interesado sa sinya manibdi lo kwe gano na sa president na lo hongwe no po
lo gwa na problema gini na Glenn da usosoda na tagini mas magwaiza itaw ni man maulik man camping lo ti mahasu hafa ti chotsot na kalan sadik man malesa na mega promesa di tempo de eleksyon lo anay matatso da kalan longa ti ma if in English they don't hold them accountable
okay
mega na promesa lo anay matri tempo para tali apa mo jongnya pura no kumbulaki dan longa natuto.
Sa ngayon ni deadline, what deadline siyempre no na po mafayo i-candidacy no, bueno?
Yeah, March, di March.
Oh, pues esta na utro niya mesa, no? Pues alright, pues
yeah.
Ata nino siya na rekomendasyon ni Maniluta, no? No, na nasida sa no Ang pwede no loki na siya un offer alternative na representasyon na
Yeah.
bazu.
Bula di inatano na Glenn, bula gini wagi man kapas, bula gini wagi man maulik na machotso. Lo impedimento na di man maulik di camping na banda. Lo di sita tau-tau fanaso. Ko sige malago mo di finu English or di finu Chamorro makwentus mamis, makentus siya mamis, right? Lo tada action.
Oh.
Right?
Alright.
But mega action, masyati, maulit no, di akan tutusin mamis, di sa dam do. You know, like, nanaw dia, bulan no, kwentus finatada do.
Okay. Alright. Kung sa nga, pinapago na Sabado, si Zeus Masi locate po din ako na update.
Yeah, ikaw Glenn, apa yung mapo sa simana, tibi mo lingding yung telefon.
Unggan tsadya, malong sa...
Tungwa na bidaw, bidaw, ekonomi programa, tungwa na, kikiaga mo.
Malong gano'n.
Ikuan na ba i-network ini mo dito, gua audits na.
Okay. So, alright. Kung sa lisistik was di WhatsApp na siya malong mo. Okay. Kung si Zeus Masi. Para si Peter talo. Peter Santos talo si Duta Gano gi Island Guaham. Wala zatapan sige mo na gani. Nakiyalulok si Senator Singh Gano Papa Tinian. Stadium sa Fanelos gini gi Gramata. Alright. Okay, wala na tapat. Sige muna gini. Alright, mala sa sige no nalaga no again no senator sa gonna besti do taluki na mo magic sti telefonta. Okay, kung sige mo na Senator Singh na papatinian sa dulo para tolos ba na mani duta papatinian.
Parewa pakahukulan dan publis maiku siyon imatana. Glenn, maulik tayo section na.
Malik todo. Malik.
Okay, lagi po tayo man. Pumapaw. Dito so. No. Anyway, di nakasala parewas. Tingin kita. No. Saturday, last week, papa ini ikan di Democratic parties di L.
Okay.
Kaya yung meetings di Democrat minister. So far, tutunggu teman orang lutan lihat kasihan.
Oh, okay. Malik non mention na no sa kumbida ha dos pago na para gi 10:30. Actually si Representative Steven Sablan pago gi 10:30 como guatin po niya. Okay, umalun como wazo na access gi internet jangin on island gano tingyan pago no?
Last week stick.
Oh, last week. Oh, okay. Basta. Okay, got it.
I don't know if como manor mistake Democrat
Oh, tutungo.
no tutungo dan Saturday no now apa bulan baru glance reading gitu. So far this sama tunggu di idem si proses apa independen dan si tulis plan apa
I-survey? Oh, to tanza trabia makunduduk no scientific survey lo wawli nensi no online no po na Marianas Variety no makadzo ti scientific zo po sinya ito mambotan SBI na ti tanza we indicative na no result or the reliability to maigwi sa ti scientific frequency test gwi na no sinya no DSBI mambota itaw to no 50 biyahe sa yung banda biaya mambota na
the Tata Pro Minani ko same telephone number at least.
Sige laliko na frequency
Sa kumukuhan ito siya ginagawa ang kung same folder.
Us taw lo survey
no hindi no President Trump apa nile mo na yung fake
kisinya mas no bay na yaw sa QQ wilalay so netso na fake no na data na no sigun gi taw gwa siya man may pintus no gwaji man maguf sa first time isti para Palawan na za no titatungo pantoy no ng numero ko para utinip over person administration or independent na group na kada uno gini no diferentes na mensahe lalang no sujong pus to give tungo tay manre no para timones ti sa satsagwa trivia in November na sa tagiliya gihalatsa siya based on no empirical no data siya na wanay magupi kailan gi mismo tempo na klase na kita tungo po tayo manos eh
isirintin tau ini datinian gisagawa astiklen na tinisisoryo no tinansistiro isirintin tau ini palacios no apatanggi sarutak mahudu ko Pera di parentela ini apatan no nimputan pues ane malum isti sa plan no staff si lela no si lela nian pues ini istakulan onsa geno isining tau ini coming from Tinian dan tinisi sorry no ginansisti kita bawa no patan now ilekuna by next Saturday ni mau no para atan menunjung pinski baik dan sini amat realistik kada unuki kandidat pun sa no si turis incumbent si plus kaya lagi incumbent all the way to 90 turis plus si Tina dan si Lela no bulan masih siya estimona sa gajiro isti dos di house di sumauno di impeachment na against governor pues buras siya no ya parewa i-plus dan i-minus sa power siya mangkilulong na siya tau yan. Jadi na request next Saturday when tinisinan kita gate na.
Okay. Ulah apa siya gano otro na aktibidad pero di asutun no servicio gano kadin no meata gano mea no audan esta sige muna simple lopi no
Off island mea.
Okay. All right.
No.
Imilit
para weeks tayo no
imilitat no na ekonomiya gano sige mo na ha sa lapon wi pago
ay militar ko lang steady stasti no and militar restaurant gini si Bob Jones gini kepresentiwatan pulang gitu sama salah tapi ini naik kan tubuh juga
Jadi Pika Festival, no? Sempre utus semana.
Pika Festival is coming up now. Hesitation naik ini Glenn iman tahu ini kalau pandemik siya nih. Man malala gue tahu tuh man pesta pika lo wahal itu man dimasukin penghulu mungkin lu kontutan lo pakai asisten tuh ini sam
esta siga
ini sam dong kulo no plan niru ini kan ini sana kayak piniligo tapi aku gitu.
Alright. Okay, po sa inawa, sabay karera pa luta, sa bisa na bay biro mo gi, kumuwano, sa ginomalum sa kumbida si Representative Tina Sablan, bisa official candidate by Democrat, pwede no ali ito niya email.
Bago para malum?
Kumbida pa uwi 10:30. Kumu alizo sempi humaluma gini sa it's a virtual na
okay
para halum di alumni station para u click ka di zonya no virtual link na sinya tali gini gi computer ne para tana broadcast sa loki uzum na was okay da si jus mosi de no
okay plan stop ke sabar
esta si jus mosi tarusan sing mana papa no Tinian! Alright! Saludo talo para si Luta, si Dorian, and todo si Maniluta ganong papa. Wala. Tapang sige mo na gani. At sa ifan mo na kihanong si Guelo Tim po niya. Sa itim po niya ti anak ko lokwe. No sinimbat ko. Tapang sige mo na sumukan este. Suli ang kasautuan ako mahulo inumiron positive na papa luta dan guaha ilingyan no amo pasmon sinago ma-distribute man nanay publiko. Alright, sa ready trivia malingo talo iorania islan luta oh nigit si luta Guelo Tim buenas Guelo Tim para hogo dan para todo si tau luta apa i amud pasmun sinago kuman manonay tau sa uli na kumaulo i positive COVID.
Okay lain no gano'n buenas para hogo dan lokoi para terus menaikmu para pagana sampai lo gini kita Marianas Agupa talk show na kelas terus masih no lokoi no ketua na debit respeto memagas para no kayak gini siapa kan staipan no kenian dan precisamente municipal do tidak menggaji gini no lokoi dan antara kapan segi mona baik continua i maju sama toprak para itimado vai para este balanço pada dia penomlo né no pateno gialo este amo nativo ahe tipo no itimado ta dan persiste amo nativo no asia no ceremonias nei como papanya este amo ne para sia bantir mas wa aligo sa pinamolik no
Gan tidak sih no.
Pues no que paguen ani todo especialmente no para pai no sangan la porque van a poner no comisión por ini y consideramos por este bakanan amo pas mo sinago no.
Gan.
Okay, este amo pas mo sinago que emprender ko na no licencia y di nuevo este dat tempo este na amo ne praktika di manauta pues korolnya edusia manangkota depois makat ka papa di manupin di interesado ne para uwahan no kinamlo alivio di waktu di hospital sa mauling hospital belum ada beda importante na itatumo makansay di hapan no wahata di reason di mata pati lain no gemapos na Simona no geframados no mandanya i mansuruhana dan mamandek siya amut di departemen di siensia juga na da manmamatinas no amut pasmon sinago da mamakumbide tahu-tahu no tintati ati malago no gaigi no umaha istigi da ventilasi jo mege manuli da fuera di university lai in podesti siensi ne chumugi programa which is sama tu na sama tubo machogi am dan lokwe tanai i mialpo lai gini jeru to dampulo da juju small se sta ina kumpapa ne official ne macho na iba da terpeno atalik ustamana dampulo juju small se email da lokwe departamento de staff ne ma Curi effort dengan hono hudung dengan setia amut ne perogwa ini belum jaringan kansa di partner tempo medusia bagaimana asli nesti kemudian no isti pandemi nasional tu no
Mungkin.
poslo ya kan bagus lagi no buah siya man pinamaulik mas da antilaki loke no tutungo teman na asigurado estilo para tungo tu sa no kumbe patio gini dia natibo na igibet nota gas rock no polish no ban order line no igibet nota i CNC ruta kausinya no mafavoreste no amut no para pulo que na ruta no saipan da sina bonti ni mangaiti ki NOC mensinida na positive siya bonti kumachaki lang siya kaso sino man pinamaulik sa Siguro may itimigyan na tempo may magwa man kinajudan dam pinamaulit cari mesti amor pas mong sinago binigi ane mapatinas suta gemapos na semana na da mabret no wa gini bangi doktor waktu ano manina tilatel na klase i mapusa silo sa moda no madulo lao ongkil ay esti yamo praktibo ke pas mong sinago na Lao gero estigi itu nama panas amot pas mo sinago bikin pendek pun na after the whole of the pandemic na dito di man auto man sinasa dan gini nadyo sinago da karang no mas ini no dos tres timona nei siya mo na no
Sala na
tayo no apa siya no estigi no mapatitras dalam siya kaso no wala na lolo lolo apagaw na ista tempo no inipos na sinago ito ating na mapatinan si amot pas ng sinago. Pues este na magok nga i-kasalalik ko na one of them na kakasadi dalam progrante na este amot natibo na sa este uno i-amot pas ng sinago. Pues katso este da aki para mapatinas na do maginin da esta tauja aku no mega sta no evidencia da prueba na mega no pinamamaulit di marauta pues no enige way no topiko pago na hani ko uli pas mensinado no pago nang igual para bailista pues amo pas mensinado no kalwa bay na claro stiki na mega tumo lang yung pareo i amon na malmatsosuli pat no ikapat sa di amon o sino imirisyon lo ina anya amon pas mon sinago no maulit dan no wahag yung manilugan no ang naman tingin pat pentumu ini pas mon sinago dati mo pareo bagay i apa mana bikin dengan yung imirisyon
Maulik na eksplikasyon.
Wahas ay patosyon tiriyan.
Maulik na eksplikasyon eno welo tim mga malefa na otro semana i oportunidad para i haji malago beno no nenay lilikta i para presenta i amor pasmon sinago i cultural show na otro semana no ne masinyala para luta na tutungo Haji no listo preno sa daging matsuli oportunidad sa bay reschedule lo natutulog by Wednesday
Polo bay tagi ko bisita di department sige sa lori ko na tibunwa tumungo na sa bay pamaction no ate malago no kumaka tempo niya masya una ora so explica por di amo pas konsinamo da kapan na amo anastesit kenan sa wa di makaryo no buah no conecte para amor pas vacinado no maga y material tan pomalo no lo buat siya na amot adanya na yang mentisya lo buat siya mentodin na itu kompendi istimado mo na dan hapa ita beneficio dan lo que fuera de ene y hapa na beneficio no gayo bi una kita lang sa i amot i hapa masusuri ispita dan i amot na tibu sa one of day no umapak tay no kimolik no da baby pa na completely i hapat pas na ito na para nanyo na ako yung ispita para masaya borstier na check si ang natigo no pero energy o sino siya unginin ang ispita lo mas riba i ipotarasan i ang natigo ana para balansa ikaw ko na po gigilin na sa importante no
Jesus masih, na information. That tagyo mistire no gi cultural show no ne para ta istira mas. Jesus masih welotin.
Tunay dan no terlupa na waktu no kan teknologinya macam ni sila next pandemic mai no. Os no todo ay maraw no o ma teknologiya no kristaro no sangat amut negi family negi sinya no manggaji di metura na. Next sinya mana senti no para dengan kasta di sinado na. Dan lo que son la mole y gente que toca los libros na clase y no pago Agupa está no mole de kami natural es de trabajo que más de tiempo na para aceptar na para utar na y para la mole que gente de trabajo importante que sa mo de ito gana hasta 2 días que la mole la videre y naka tempo na sa di amo hospital este counting credit pues elige na mauti kesti ya nativo. Gustavo ay no glen like no tago no apa para pa sangan eno at klase no mensahe sa wala iman eto makatgan daw mamintaw di ako mas na isinya it no kena religio hinamlo na. Jadi tak sempit tak wana mona kena nilangul lo miteswa hinatahi mas dan piningo mas mauli. Ustalo away no eno away no men solo gua auto mas customer men karena na tempo pai ko pio.
Puluza i cultural show ino na kaistira mas i ino no importante na yung sasangan lo pulu no tempo para ino otro semana. Natutungo so by Wednesday ha.
Dan gin sumotso lain no gua mo mano pero ben.
Engan.
Okay, jauh kamu manuk presko.
Ini mas zahon no ezi mananyada na kunidera.
Okay, pos masya no tanggan zamanya ka ikangan manya lo pe tanggan sergi kunidera. Lalu istiqo kita dengan ini gitu kan, nah itu tanggin leknonia perangkatu kadun presko namanya no. Atan kisian na hakun igai sustansya ane perlu pina mauli ikat lemana dengan kamu naik apa mauli ke dokter bukan tu no isti imusitas no itu apa maksudnya oke isti imusitas sebagai siar na hakun naik na family na mematikan sama sumuki halu ilaso si mano jadi kita matado por itu siar na family hakun naik umaati yang genaista bu wata botnya da kumon kanu tina molik da fendi opa molik puruvisia anu persustrasia reisia katumo na lao iziki pai guru komentan da konteka harus sakti manggirinu na molik itu causamo partizamo Gustavo awai eno no para pago na ukawan no global da sigus mosro financiation antara terus dibanding mo gefarita mo na gikarera sa tauga malago gi familia na para padra longo na terus giginadaya dan sinema tawla dan plus Jesus mosi
para hagulo ki welotin si Jesus masi bueno papa duta mala datapan sige mo na bini ya talag mo sa estilo ki kumakat sumo na na seksyon na programan Marianas Agupa dan si Ambrose ito tawago.
Happy New Year to all. Living healthy and happy lives is our business here at PHI. You can request for automatic monthly refills. We offer free vitamins with your monthly refills. And our 340B plan with our partner, Catman Health Clinic, will allow for free refills if you don't have insurance. Be happy and live a healthy life with PHI as your pharmacy.
Alright, malagatapan sige mo na gini. Time check talo, binigi Google Mata, nagadata sige mo na gini. Para todos sa siya manikog talo si Zeus Masi. Malagata sige mo na gini. Tanaw na si Luta, si Ambrose, is na seksyon na. All right, Ambrose is in.
Yeah.
Ambrose Bennett.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Hold on, let me just get this thing set up. All right, sige mo na gini. Pausa gini Mr. Biano na segment anti sa libenolom si Ambrose sa nga. Para todos ato siya malago man saunaw talo gi Otto Simona i cultural show talo. Siyempre gigon no humalo team para umakusenta si amon pasmon sinago pati zo ginin i cultural show sa giniluloy lokes Dr. Liz Rehebe. Good morning, Winino Fiscal Officer si Francis Sablan. Kumakat suzu na programa ginin Sinamay Northern Mariana Islands Humanities Council pati ginin National Endowment for the Arts. Was Otto Simone no? Na para dito zo na para tanahuzo ibisitata para este cultural show lo pogo. Mala data na holom si Ambrose Bennett. Seksyon na gini Fadelos bandan edukasyon, bandan ekonomiya dan government. Mala data suli este pagulo. Ambrose, buenas.
Buenas. All right, how are you? Good.
Okay, we have go ahead. We got limited time. Continue.
Okay, so Alpha Day and good morning to everyone. Thank you for listening in. I'm going to start with the economy today. And really, there's not a lot to say about the economy other than the last word on our economy is the bubble tourism is really not paying off, as the governor is really putting more money into subsidizing flights and paying Korean tourists than the CNMI is actually making. Is really a losing economic activity with no potential for any economic growth in the future. South Koreans don't have a tie to the Marianas, unlike the Japanese tourists, like we have all these Japanese tourist sites. I think the governor would have done better by subsidizing locals to visit the other islands like Tinian and Rota, rather than dumping money into South Koreans' pockets, because Tinian was having events, Rota was having their fiesta. We could have done that to help these two islands, especially for the fully vaccinated locals that wanted to travel to Tinian and Rota. And it should have been limited to fully vaccinated people. That's what I saw myself when I was traveling. You go into an event, you had to prove that you were fully vaccinated. And thankfully, we're 98% fully vaccinated, so we don't have to worry about that so much as we did before. So I would hope that if the governor can create deer hunting in the Northern Islands, surely he should be able to create something for locals to travel to Tinian and Rota to help their tourism business, because both of those islands are suffering. They're like ghost towns, and we need to try and help them as much as possible.
Before you get to the education,
okay.
a question on that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
we're done with the casino. That's one. Are we done with the casino? And number two, would it be possible to declare the island of Rhoda and Tinian as an economic depressed zone, so that companies can have a branch there, where they don't have to pay taxes? You know what I'm saying? Bring in investment there, stimulate the economy in Rhoda or Tinian, for that matter. So those are the two pressing questions that I have. Are we done with the casino here in Saipan?
Okay, the answer to the first question is not that we're done with the casino, it's the fact that the casino is done. It was depending on Chinese tourism, and we know now that the Chinese government is not going to allow Chinese to come here anymore to gamble. So basically, the casino is done. It's just a matter of how we're going to work it out and transition it into another economic venture, hopefully by investors from Japan. We need to finalize what's happening with IPI, just like we've seen the court cases of other vendors and people being paid. The people of the CNMI are actually owed $57 million at this point. So, and I want to say one thing that Representative Tina Sablon was saying on Candid, and that was the fact that we need to do something about IPI now. We're paying commissioners again for a casino that's not operating. I think the governor should have suspended all these casinos the moment these casino commissions. They should have been suspended the moment these casinos closed, because there was no need for them. We keep paying casino commissioners. It's happened on all three of the islands, on Tinian and Rhoda first, and now it's happening again here. We're seeing the same old movie with these casinos, and it has gotten us virtually little or nothing nowhere. The only thing the people can really say is that we got the $10 million for our power bills, and the retirees were able to get one bonus payment out of the deal. But it's over with, and we need to start transitioning it, looking for investors. They've already broken the contract, so the ball is really in the CNMI government's hand, but the governor is not saying or doing anything about it, and that is the problem. He's just letting it lay and fester, the same way he did with the Marianas Resort. Is just lying there and festering and rotting away. La Fiesta sitting there rotting away. We're still paying the lease on La Fiesta. That is what's so ridiculous. The people are paying for La Fiesta every year, and we are still not getting anybody to do anything about it. We have and I'm sure the next administration will address these things. They were talking already about fixing the problems that this governor has already created first.
Okay, and the second part?
Repeat that question. Was
about declaring the economic depression.
Oh yeah, right. Well, for sure, the pandemic itself justified declaring all three of these islands as an economic disaster zone, because we are so isolated. In fact, the governor used the term emergency for the entire CNMI to grab a hold of the opera fundings, the spending, the stimulus money. So if he can do that to get a hold of the 500 million, certainly he can do something for Tinian and Rhoda. The problem is it's all about the numbers. They don't have a voting population anymore, and they really don't matter as far as the voting booth, and that's why they're being forgotten about, pretty much. And I kind of blame it on their representation for letting the governor get away with not addressing these islands like he should have, especially with the stimulus money. He hadn't tried to stimulate them at all. economically. That's what I'm pushing at.
All right. Okay. So let's get to education. You got a few minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, education. What I want to mention about education is not so much about the education institutions, but about what's facing the CNMI government. Coming this Thursday, I will be conducting a presentation to offer a plan for the government and the education stakeholders in our workforce transition to meet the federal mandate. While PSS, NMC, and NMTI are doing a great job in creating MOUs to train our youth to enter the workforce, we must be mindful that come 2029, the feds are going to ask the CNMI governor, not PSS, not NMTI, or not NMC. The feds are going to ask the governor, what has the government done to transition the workforce? So this is a plan for the government really to bring all of these education institutions under one consolidated plan of the government. The great thing about the plan is that it doesn't hurt their efforts in their apprenticeship programs that they're doing a great job in. In fact, it enhances their ability to do even more as a collective. The other thing is we got to be mindful that we do need the CWs. Even though we're doing a transition plan, we still need them. But if we don't justify our need for the CWs, we're going to see the CW issue end up just like we saw immigration end up and minimum wage. The feds came in and took over. And we don't want the feds to come in and say, okay, we're going to get rid of the CWs for you. And that's what will happen if the government does not introduce a plan. We have to look at the big picture and where this road leads to. Like I said, PSS, NMTI, NMC, they're doing a great job, but it's not a collective effort and it's not the government's plan. So what I'm proposing is really a plan that's already been proven successful for the past 28 years by national law in the country of Mexico. Because Mexico has a similar challenge of training their youth to enter the workforce, especially in jobs like what PSS and NMC are doing for apprenticeship, because you need certificates and professional training for those jobs. So Mexico's solution was this public service program, and it's a perfect fit for what we need to do here. And it's still working today. They're still using this plan today. They've been using it since 1993.
Okay, stand by. Sponsor in. Hold on.
Happy New Year to all. Living healthy and happy lives is our business here at PHI. You can request for automatic monthly refills. We offer free vitamins with your monthly refills, and our 340B plan with our partner, Catman Health Clinic, will allow for free refills if you don't have insurance. Be happy and live a healthy life with PHI as your pharmacy.
All right.
Thank you for that, PHI, for carrying Marianas Agupa program. Thank you, Ambrose. You want to extend a little time here for the government? You have done with that segment already?
Yeah, and I just look forward to doing this presentation. I actually was trying to implement this since 2007 when I was interviewed for the Commissioner of Education position. I presented it back in 2007 because I knew back then that we were going to end up having to transition our youth. So it looks like now it's finally going to be listened to and given serious consideration, especially when we're 2 years already into the 10-year federal mandate to transition our workforce.
Okay, stand by. I'm not getting you. We have a visitor or a guest. I invited Representative Tina Sablan at 10:30 this morning.
Okay. All right.
Just stand by, just in case she joins us this morning. But hold on, let me get this guy. We have a person here. Boy Guazumbo question para si Bennett. Hello, Raman Marianas Agupa. What question?
Ay, malago na may kahit si Ambrose, because he never long mayor. So mayor is nothing solution legislature or standard.
Can you hear that, Ambrose? Hold on.
No, I can't hear it too good.
You're a little bit low in volume. Stand by. We're still okay. Go ahead. What is your question again? And your name first. Your name first. Louis Pilisiman. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so you're recommending Ambrose runs for mayor? Oh, okay. Thank you, Louis. Okay. Well, at least you have a supporter out there, Ambrose.
I am so humble, and I appreciate that. I'm not a politician.
Have you run for office?
Well, let me put it this way. I really, it's never been in my heart to be a politician. I'm an activist. That's what I grew up in. The other thing is I actually have a technical challenge with Republicans have made known to everybody that I got in trouble back when I was a very young man. And that actually prevents me from running for office. And, you know, that's just the way it is. So it doesn't bother me. He's not the first one. I've been asked to run for the Board of Education, to run for the Senate. People have always been asking me. In fact, there's an attorney here who every time he sees me, he says, I'm the best unelected representative of the people the CNMI has ever had. So I'm speaking up for the people. And I just want to say this too, because I'm pushing the Democrats so hard. I actually have helped the Republican Party when the Democrats were pretty much non-existent. When Michael Steele came here, I was there who was the president of the GOP, the national GOP. I was there to meet him. I've helped both parties. If the Democrats were messing up the way the Republicans are messing up now, I would be on the Democrats' case. So I want the public to know that I'm speaking for them and what I believe is actually best for the people.
That's very good. All right, so
yeah, let me say something about the government. I think the selection of Representative Leda Staffler as the running mate is the hot topic of the islands. And her announcement has literally shaken up and really woke up voters, especially the young people and people who haven't even voted before are now talking about voting because they offer a real opportunity for change. And they've given the people hope now. When they see these two women together on these posters, it's gleaming with hope. And people can see it and recognize it. I've been using the term matrilineal leaders rather than saying women, which is basically the same thing as saying women leaders. But matrilineal kinship is really part of the culture here. The great thing I noticed was if I encourage people to go back and look at the videos. I encourage people to go back and look at the videos of the governors launching of him and Vinny and compare it with the Democrats. And you will see how the Republicans were only pushing loyalty and to go out and just ask people to vote Republican for the sake of Republican. They didn't offer anything for the people that they would play. The governor didn't say he was going to do anything at the launching compared to the Sublime Staffler launching. It was very informative. They actually talked about the issues and gave people hope for a brighter and better future. And I think that's going to be the one of the caveats of this election is that people now have real hope.
Okay. All right. Let me just get this call. Hold on.
While we're waiting, it's really interesting that the AD team are talking about rebuilding trust when the Sublime Staffer team, they are already trusted. So it's going to be rebuilding trust versus the already trusted. And common sense is going to lead people, most of the people, to the people that are already trusted. Why take a chance on someone that was already tainted? Knew things were going bad, didn't say anything for 3 years, and now acts all surprised and so caught off guard when he knew all along these things were happening.
Okay, let me get this call. Buenas. Marianas Agupa ginawa mo question mo para si Ambrose?
Why, Ambrose? Because we have to help each other for our people, not for ourselves. This lady can do it right because they follow the rules of law and God will trust. Don't touch if it's not belong to you. That's why, Glenn, wala mo ni malili mo. Check mo sa sigubin mo. Kung mama magsagi sa nila na guma, todo ko ni Pangmen, mama yun ni Bosa sa ako na, sina yokulat di sina. Glenn, sita tada, sita nota. Sabi tayo, di Glenn, kisiyasi sa todo yung menta, baby na malalalo, pati sa wana.
Okay.
Kasi na player.
Wala mo question pa si Ambrose?
Okay.
Oh.
And the rest of the Congress, their legislation, the Senate, maybe public auditor and Attorney General. God bless America, God bless Cinema. We have to work together to clean up this corruption. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's a comment. It's just a comment. All right. Continue on, Ambrose.
Okay. Like I was saying, the election now between the AD team and the the Sublime Staffler team is trusted leadership versus rebuilding trust. And when you just look at those two themes, the common sense tells you that you're going to go with the people who are already trusted, not people who are trying to rebuild some trust that they were part of destroying. It really defies logic and the way things are happening here in the CNMI. They could never happen like that on the mainland, and because people are more open, more objective than subjective. We still have that on the mainland. The ultra conservative of Americans that are still following Trump. But that is all about power. We need to look at common sense and logic. Just like the people that were against the vaccines, people actually lost their jobs, their livelihood, because of a political affiliation, because the politics of not taking the vaccine was politics. It was, and the sad part is the political leaders that created that hysteria actually got vaccinated. And I can't understand how some people got caught up in that. I think the CNI, we need to be working towards fully vaccination. If you go in the grocery store, show your vaccination card. Show you're fully vaccinated. The German chancellor was adamant about making non-vaccinated people part of the public life. And that's what we have to look at. As far as tourists, we should open up to all tourists who are fully vaccinated. That's all they need to be, is fully vaccinated. And that alone is going to cut down on the spread of the virus, because if you're vaccinated and you're infected with the virus is already weak in you because you are vaccinated. So if you're wearing a mask, the probability of you passing it is even less, because it's a weakened virus. And we need to understand the science of what's happening with this, because we're going to be living with it for another year or two.
All right. We have a call from Rona. Buenas. One more question, Pastor Ambrose. No, hold on. Go. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, si Andrews na okay. Umukat naman si Andrews.
Ambrose, okay.
Yes, I hear you.
My name is Vincent Nicholas from the island of Costa. I understand that one of your first opening is about CNMI economy.
Yes.
My question here is very simple. The current situation is that we are in a state of development, and also we're in a state of assisted by the federal government, and also probably a little bit with the local government. So here's the question. At this point in time, what do you think we need to cushion our economic development in the Commonwealth versus importing goods and services for economic development? So what do you see, what do you think, and what do you recommend? That's all. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you. Okay.
As far as he's talking about pushing our economy, and reopening it and developing it. One, like I was saying earlier, we need to finalize IPI and put it on a track for recovery under different investors with a different plan. That is paramount that we do that. This is a big white elephant and it also has our tourism shifted to really, I think it was an arbitrary decision by the governor to choose South Korea to do the bubble tourism, when it should have been a bubble tourism for any tourist from any nation. And we should have been working towards that. What we can be doing now is, first of all, reopening for all tourists who are fully vaccinated. We are ready for that. We are 98% vaccinated as a community. We are fully ready to fully reopen for all tourists who are fully vaccinated. And we should use that as a selling point to tourist destination countries, that we are 98% vaccinated, and that any tourist that comes here can come here without quarantine or anything, as long as they're fully vaccinated and they follow the protocols. That doesn't mean we stop wearing masks and we stop washing our hands. It's just saying that we're going to learn how to live with COVID, because it's going to be here for another 2 or 3 years, even maybe, because the virus is smart. That's why we have the new strain. because it finds out, it figures out a way. We have this this term in sociology and even in biology that nature finds a way to survive, and nature does find a way to survive, and that's what's happening with this virus. It's finding a way to survive because the new Omicron, you can catch it much easier than you can the Delta variant. So it realizes that. So this thing is, what we're dealing with is nature itself, and it's intelligent to a certain extent. And getting back to our economy, like I was been saying for years, we need to start repairing what has been lost already. We need to be appealing. I saw Ms. Jacopo on the news talking about their efforts to try and get Japan back into our tourism market. And I think the governor and everybody should be helping her, helping MBA to really do as much as we possibly can to get the Japanese back involved. We also need to be thinking about the local people in our region. I dare to dream about the CNMI, and I've always thought that the Saipan could be the pearl of Micronesia, and this would be a place where all the people in Micronesia would frequent to vacation, rather than having to go to Japan or somewhere like that. We don't even have a theme park here, but we won't have one if we don't work to get one. Just like they worked for 10 years to get a casino here. Just imagine if we had a theme park here that would not be affected by any specific country. And that's what happened. We threw all our eggs into the Chinese basket. And I even warned the government that when they signed this exclusive contract with the Chinese investors, that they were going to chase the Japanese away. And it came to fruition. They did leave because socially they don't mix.
Yeah.
Socially, I'm not putting either race down. I'm just saying that they don't jive. And if one is there, the other is not going to be there. And they should have known that they were killing our Japanese market, which was the market that actually founded our tourism business industry, rather.
Behavioral science. They should have.
Yes, right, exactly. It's called behavioral science.
Yes, that's right. So,
and you didn't have to be a scientist to know that, because every layperson just about that know the Japanese and the Chinese, they know that they don't get together, they don't get along. And it wasn't a mystery that what was going to happen. We just didn't see this pandemic stepping in and really putting a final nail in the coffin for it. There's this saying, all of this about the casino, there's this saying, because I fought for Bishop Camacho when he was trying to stop it. There's this saying that God ain't sleeping. So when we're doing these scandalous things and to force things on people, our leaders need to keep in mind that God is not sleeping. And a lot of people will say that's why the casino is dead.
okay. Before we continue, let me just speak in vernacular. Tuldo sa Manila Group, si Ambrose Bennett, always in a segment. Tananan nga si Representative Tina Sablan, takumbida.
All right.
Virtue, Giguno Malum, interrupt. When she gets in, we'll interrupt our show here, huh? Ambrose?
All right. I'll be glad to listen to her.
Yeah, we'll wait for her. We invited her to participate here. I hope that she get her email on time.
Okay.
And if not, then we'll probably reschedule. But we'll still wait.
Well, maybe we can tell someone who's listening to the show to reach out to her and ask her to call in.
Okay. Well, I sent her so we can see her image.
Okay,
The link.
that's
So
great.
if not, we'll get her in on another time. But see, Ambrose.
It may be an issue of her travel because I know her and Miss Stafford were in Rhoda,
Oh,
and I due back today. So
she's in
we
transit. So if she doesn't, we'll just wait. And if she doesn't, then we can reschedule. And
Yeah.
then we're gonna also invite the governor. Okay, Ambrose.
Invite who?
We're gonna invite Governor Torres.
Of course.
Oh,
We're
okay.
fair and balanced. We're not like Fox News. We're fair and balanced.
We're fair and balanced. So on your next appearance here, we'll invite Governor Torres, and then we're gonna go with Arnold. We're gonna invite Arnold again.
All right, all right.
We're gonna get these guys on the show, whether
Hey.
you like it or not. We're gonna invite you and show up on when you're invited. Show up and get the link so we can ask you the tough question because you're running for the governor's seat, and they have to appear on the show. Huh, Ambrose?
Right, right. Yeah, we will. A shout out to 6'2". Let him know we're still waiting on him to show up.
Yes, and we're gonna wait for 622. Okay. You cannot escape Marianas Agupa because you're holding public position. Okay, so you
Amen.
stand on the hot chair here, and
Amen.
we're gonna ask you a question. Ambrose is gonna grill you with tough questions to get us to this predicament. And
I'm
now
not gonna grill. I would just ask good, solid questions. You're trying to scare them. Don't scare them.
so we'll just ask them the right question. Is that
Yeah.
yeah, the right question for the people because
Right.
we're here for the people. And let's go to Tinian. We have a caller here. Wait, hold on. Okay, Tinian, you have a question for Ambrose? Buenas, buenas. Hold on, because we're not hearing anyone from Tinian. I got a call here. Stand by. Tinian.
Hello?
Okay, there. Go ahead, Tinian.
Hello, Ben?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I have a question. First of all, I know dapat sa mga dito sa ni ano sa tao no director ng hospital na si mo nung mo na is not in the social tempo in Parantagan. But the question is based on it's like if a moment lens manungito na hindi the right direction is sa phenomenon ni para sa workforce. The country is involved in para leadership dari PSS, but I believe that it's about time it's overdue. The PSS, LMCI, and the NMC should get down with the government. So we should start producing our own workforce because we can do it. Lisa ni Masamoro, Mandaria, Mantigo, the trademark people, who maximize our workforce, the Sinomite, the only way now for our Sinomite to come up with this economic is farming. Farming is very important. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Joe Kiosi. Joe Kiosi is probably thinking of farming too. Anyway, farming is the primary goal right now at the state of our situation here. That's what he's recommending. What do you think of that? Farming, going back to agriculture.
Okay.
Of all this.
Let me say this. Being an economist, there's this thing called a one crop economy. And that doesn't necessarily mean food. For example, we were heavily dependent upon the casino being successful, which was very much like having a one crop economy. And when the casino died, our economy died with it. The CNMI must be diverse and broad in our economic base. At the core of it should be farming, because food is one of the main essentials. I wrote a paper about this years ago, explaining how the Department of Commerce should be controlling certain things that come into the CNMI by charging a tariff on it. For example, bananas. Why are we buying bananas all the way from the United States when they grow wild here? If they would place a high tariff on the importation of bananas, especially when they're in season, it could be a flexible tariff that goes up and down and changes depending on the season. The people can bring a stalk of bananas to the store and get them $10 or $15 for their stalk out of their yard. This pays for their gas for a week. If they got 10 stalks that they can sell. Lemons, they grow naturally here. When lemons are in season, the tariff should be high on the importation of lemons so that the local farmers and people can sell them. Farming is a founding part of any economic base. Housing is another one. And I'll talk about that later on because that deals with Article 12 when we talk about housing. But food is a significant part of our economic base. And if we're going to push farming, we also need to have our Department of Commerce really do some commerce work and control the importation and exportation of certain goods that we actually produce here. Why are we making our local farmers compete with farmers on the other side of the world? I don't understand that, but it's happening.
Okay. Do you cook, Ambrose? Do you cook food at home?
Yeah, I cook.
Okay. What do you use when you cook? Onions, garlic?
Yes. See, we import onions.
Well, that's exactly.
Yeah, we're importing onions, and we can grow onions here year round.
That's right.
But we're not encouraging it because the Department of Commerce has never really functioned like it should. I was talking about that when 6-2 was over the Department of Commerce, and even before that, I think they have a limited capacity to help the people in the department are great people. They're trying to help people and help the businesses as much as they can. The problem is at the top, and it's the politics and the politicians who are dictating what cannot be done. We're not helping our farmers. But the Torres family, they're in the farming since he became governor. And maybe we should ask him.
Yeah, so
when he's on the show.
For that question, yes, we should. Well, farming is grounded in our culture too.
Yeah, Lancheros.
That's right. And we had Isidoro Cabrera last week on the cultural show talk about farming, Pangwaluan. That's, time immemorial, since,
right.
As a matter of fact, especially now, it's more important now, Ambrose, because of the instability of the world with Russia trying to invade Ukraine. We have this rogue dictator, North Korea.
Yeah.
We don't know if the shipping clock in the U.S., we don't know if it's going to be shipping coming, ship containers coming in. We don't know that. Very unstable.
Right. We can't be totally self-sufficient as far as our full supply chain, but we can be more self-sufficient than we are. Much more, given our climate. Our climate is actually the same as the climate in Michoacán, Mexico, where the blue Avelia plant, blue guava plant grows, which is the only plant that they use to make tequila. That's why Mexico has a lot on tequila because of their region. We could actually produce tequila here.
Let me get
Our climate is exactly the same.
all right, let me get this name, please, and go ahead and get on the air. Hold on. I mean, something is not going right here with my phone. Hold on. Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Go ahead, your name, and then you can get on the air, please.
Buenas, Ireti,
Okay.
Ambrose. Man, I give you a lot of respect and props for just the statement you made on your life statement. I did mention months ago when the pandemic took over that we need to be creative and innovative with this island. And one good example is Pocket. We have other investors that might be interested to mine Pocket. That could be something to subsidize for the time being. EPA might be involved, but that's possible. I think people tend to, no matter how educated you are, you train your mind to be creative. And that's the definition of economics. And innovative for our island to reach out to the global countries to come in and invest is really a challenge. Because the landmass that we have is not able to accommodate that they might request. For example, if Tesla decides to build a plant here in Sinamay, do we have the property or the land to accommodate investors? I think the high-end investors is what we need in the Sinamay. Diversifying our economy is what will sustain this island. We need to be start being creative and innovative, because sometimes we look at the perspective of our economy, the aspect of our economy, we're all narrow-minded. We're still stuck with tourism. Tourism is a very sensitive industry to depend on reliance. We need to try to maximize what we can offer. So tourism is an old story. Casino, one of the reasons why, and I've been the advocate of a casino. I was hoping that it was gonna flourish. However, it's an industry that many of us have never engaged. We don't know how to manage the casino. And the casino industry and the shareholders took advantage of us. And I've been saying that we should tax the casino. One good example, Rhoda, they're still paying the commissioners for what? The Tinian commissioners are getting paid, their budget is probably $1 million. For nothing. This is the fiscal responsibility that our leaders need to start calculating numbers on how to maximize our island. And I've been a vocal for the casino for this since day one, that they need to see their financial portfolio.
All right, thank you, Ray.
And I knew for a fact that a casino will not flourish because the commodity of the casino is tourism and people. What person in this cinema will go and play 10,000 and try to lose 10,000 a day? That's impossible.
All right.
So we need to move from casino industry because we do not have the roadway to bring tourism.
Not like Las Vegas. You can just drive from California to Las Vegas over the weekend and gamble. We don't have that privilege here in Indiana. So we need to be creative and innovative and be realistic with our planning on how to maximize our economy. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Well,
that's a very good comment by.
well, yeah, and he's right. We have to be creative. That's why I've been pushing as for the CNMI to think about becoming a family-oriented destination, which is what Las Vegas did to save their casino business. Las Vegas has all kind of SeaWorld and all kind of things now for family attractions along with the gambling. So I was trying to tell them early on, a long time ago, that we need to shift towards family-oriented, being a family-oriented, because if we were a family-oriented destination, we wouldn't have to just depend on one country. Even people from the FSM, Palau, our neighbors would be visiting us for these attractions. But we're not thinking that way. I actually trained to work in a think tank when I graduated from college, and I applied to the Heritage Foundation in Washington, thinking I was going to get a job in a think tank. Well, in 1972, when I graduated, unemployment rate for blacks was up in high in the 20s, and nationwide it was around 14. My first job out of college, I was a janitor at a Head Start with a bachelor's degree in economics. And I actually trained to come up with new ideas and things like that. My class actually foresaw the coming of these superstores like Costco and stuff like that. We actually had envisioned that back in 1972, that these stores like that would probably be the future, and we were so right. We were doing experiments in economics in my class. My instructor was an Iranian.
But I'm glad, Amber.
Yeah.
You here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
but let me just say, the caller was right. We do need to be creative and expand our tourism base. Yes.
And we need to get into a business that we know. We cannot go into a business that we don't know. We have to know.
Right.
Well, that you don't know, you're gonna get broke.
One of the reasons I insisted that they put hemp in the marijuana bill is because hemp is actually better than glass. It's better than fiberglass. It's better than plastic. Hemp is actually a future thing that we can use, but nobody's doing anything to create our hemp industry. They haven't lifted a finger to start a hemp industry so we can export.
Yeah, export is. We need to start making something and sending it. Right in our neighborhood.
Right. Right. We need to be exporting. Just think about this. Our garment industry was founded on the fact that they could put on their "Made in the USA." That is a valuable label on merchandise, made in the USA, but we're not taking advantage of it anymore when the garment industry. But if we started creating hemp products made in the USA, we can start exporting those things. And we got empty islands where we can grow tons and tons of hemp.
Okay. All right. So that closes our segment here until the following. Not
right. Right.
We're going to extend the invitation to the governor, and then we're going to bring in the lieutenant governor the following Saturday. Yeah. So
yeah,
we're going to extend.
Let's let the governor and lieutenant governor go first, and let Ms. Sablon go last. Since they're the ones who already have the power, let's see what they got to say.
But we invited her. Unfortunately, she didn't make it, but we'll invite her again.
Yeah. I'm
So-
sure she's probably traveling.
All right.
Yeah, from Rhoda.
Recent-
And I wish we could sponsor a debate. If nobody sponsors a debate, I sure hope that maybe the Marianas Agupa show can consider a debate. And we really need that.
Sure, we can do that. All right, Ambrose. So thank you for your contribution again, and we'll
God
see you in
bless.
subsequent shows.
God bless and adios. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Okay, and tell your wife thank you for bringing you here. All right.
All right. Amen.
Amen to that, Ambrose. All right. Thank you for your contribution. And all right. All right. Nga sa Guaguinino. Buenas. Guaparon zuntian ti sarita hutso ni programata. Buenas. Nangan rock ba? Unok tu at tiunggaw talo. Okay? Go ahead.
Then, again, Misa,
Okay.
dan Misa, na.
Inisa da si Jesus Masi maganda no?
na.
Okay, po si Jesus Masi na tawag outro pon langnos esta para tahutso mi programata.
I put my trust on the two ladies, the governor and the Senate governor. I put my trust on them.
Esta si Jesus Masi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you Loki para hago mala sige mo na gini sa no itu sago go sa pino tahutso mi programata. Entonces, por favor, un otro tua.
Email is over prescription gmail.com. Mababaginin movies esta business. Ininiuran alas 9 giga. Esta oran alas 6 Sabado. Ininiuran alas 9 giga. Esta oran alas 1 kanuan talo. Ang 233 ang 233-2668. Today's weather is brought to you by Joten Markets and Department Store. Shop local, shop Joten. Iklema bago na ani, pinapatukusihan sa gini ni Midtown Joten sa Departamento Embassy. Shop local, shop Joten.
Okay, pues malazat atan huzungan. Sunny day pago na ogan Sabado. The isolated showers talo. Klima pago high at 84 degrees. Manglo breezy ginini east northeast at 14 miles per hour. Sunset tonight at 6:14. Pinapatuto dyan zo na shop local shop Joten. All right. Naman malifan ni now the local PHI. Naman malifan ni now PHI.
Happy New Year to all. Living healthy and happy lives is our business here at PHI. You can request for automatic monthly refills. We offer free vitamins with your monthly refills. And our 340B plan with our partner, Catman Health Clinic, will allow for free refills if you don't have insurance. Be happy and live a healthy life with PHI as your pharmacy.
All right. Si Jesus Masi, talo para todo santo ni Maneko, binigit programa Marianas Agupa. Ang Sabado talo este Panilos ginini oran alas 9 gagan este oran alas 11. Undang kululu na kulo para todo santo ni Mansasaw na ang Sabado. Bonito hiyani. Ugan para may pinadiya tatasangan na iklima. Lo mala datapansin mo na sa otro Sabado i-cultural show. Kasi pita anunsya. Ginini oran alas 10 no. Tentative schedule para amot Pasmon Sinago si Tim sa Nicolas ng bisita bueno gininigan po na Isla Luta na pwede et dicho na humalo meno na seksyon na Talo ginin inednon kulturan natibo. Ano mo, safi, na kwit po isti kumakaryas ti nagratis ginin ni Sina may Humanities Council. Talo pati no ginin i National Endowment for the Arts, si Zeus Mosing, no? Alternating Saturdays and cultural show to Simone, no? Mga malefa, sa piyata na huzong yung notisya. Talo para yung grupo, at the list rehepe si Zeus Mosing, bisa i kabesa neste, si Ansing, Francis Sablan, fiscal officer, siyempre talagang nus wini mas informasyon. Para ato siya manmanggana gimapos, siyempre by pose no gi Marianas Agupa, Facebook, wagwaha tempo para yung pansawnog bigi survey na igualo pi price. Aluma gi Marianas Agupa Facebook, don't click i-link para cultural show gimapos na simana with Isidoro Cabrera i-pangbaluan, kasi niya sumono or enter to win. Alright? Talo, ginini programa ng Marianas Agupa, si Mariana Iglesias, si Historia, si Zeus Mosing Marian, Bueno Papa, Islan Guaham, si Peter Santos, si Zeus Mosing, Bueno Tim, Bueno Papa Luta, Senator Singh, Bueno Islan Pinian, si Ambrose Bennett, dani seksyon na mining asuntun eskwela, asuntun ekonomiya dan gobernamento, si Zeus Mosing Ambrose, Wahoo si Glenn H. Manglo niya inagway sa inapamolig ng pas para tulong sanjo a Dios. Huwag sa hamjo esta otro sábado si Zeus Mosing.